Well, it's time to be liberated from the chaos of working in your business at the time of this recording on Facebook Live. It is Monday. Happy New Week, everybody. Also, make sure that you go subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can like us up on Facebook and also subscribe to the podcast. So every one of these is across the channels. Each one is at My Business on Purpose. Hey, it's Scott Beebe. I'm excited to be able to talk today about how to do the hard work of delegating tasks effectively. It is something that we've seen challenge a lot of people, and I want to make sure that we dive into that. The other day, Thomas and I were talking through a coaching situation that he had experienced, and I looked over, and Jessie was just smiling. And both of us were like, "What are you smiling at?" And we were glad she was smiling, but we were like, "What are you smiling at?" And her response was gold. She said, "It's just fun to watch you two guys living out your giftedness while we all move forward to our mission." Yes, it is. And the moment offered us a glimpse into the joy that is found when the right people are in the right seats. And in many cases, just because someone is in the right seat today doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right seat long term. It's a continual review. This past year, in fact, I went and updated my own Delegation Roadmap, a tool that we have all of our business owners do. In fact, if you want, you can complete your own delegation roadmap if you just go to mybusinessonpurpose.com/free. And right there at mybusinessonpurpose.com/free, you can actually sign up for 28 days completely for free. You'll not only get access to the delegation roadmap, but every other tool that we offer is completely free. We've just made that update, and it's really, really exciting. See, our roles are like a shrub. They grow. They need to be trimmed from time to time. And as I laid out all the tasks on that delegation roadmap that I do from week to week, it was very sobering to see all of the new tasks that have slowly crept into my day. Jessie took my delegation roadmap, combed through it, and started to mark her name every single task that she would like to begin taking off my plate and that she would enjoy the challenge of doing. It was another moment of joy for me because we were able to watch Jessie grow in her role as I trimmed mine and made space for more new areas that I could grow into. So we were both growing even as we were trimming down all at the same time. Hiring and placing a team member is really, really hard. You may not know this. It took us months to hire Thomas, and it's taken us 5 years to get Jessie into the role she's in now that seems to be really tailor-made for her skill set, personality, and her life situation. So we'll enjoy it for now in the same way that we enjoy the look of a freshly trimmed landscape, right? We're also very aware that the shrubs and grass will grow and eventually will look uncut and we'll need another trimming in a few months or a few years. Hiring and onboarding are never really over. So I meet with Thomas and Jessie most weeks on Tuesday afternoons for about 20 minutes each, and I ask them a set of questions. And so I thought I would take you through what those sets of questions are because they're tools that you can begin to ask your own team as well, whether they've been with you for a long time or if they're just starting out. So let's walk through those. The first question I always ask Thomas and Jessie is, how have you seen our mission and values impacted over the last week? It allows them to reflect back and to think, well, how have we lived out those mission and values? Second question I ask is, what are you seeing and what are you thinking? Just in general, and it's meant to be a very, very broad question. What are you seeing and what are you thinking? So that they can give kind of a general overview of everything that's in their purview. The third thing I ask them is, what blind spots are we missing? Because I'm in the seat I'm in, and a lot of times I can't see what they might be able to see and vice versa. And so we have a blind spot conversation, and I really do try to invite them into being very, very honest about the blind spots that we've got as a business so that we can live those out. I'm typing notes the whole time. The fourth question I ask is, what questions do you have about your role? This allows Thomas and Jessie to really dive in to the nuts and bolts of their role and begin to go, you know what, I don't know that I'm quite clear on this. Can you give me some insight? And we can walk through that, and obviously we can update it when we need to. The fifth question I ask is, what new ideas you have? I'm always a little leery to ask this question because new ideas are awesome, but at the end of the day, we've got to be able to implement those. That's why we've got our 12-week plan to be able to do that. Sixth question I ask is, what do you need from me? I need to know and I need to hear exactly what they need from me. And of course, it requires some vulnerability because there may be some things that they might think, well, I don't want to tell him I need this because then it looks like I don't know what I'm doing. And that's not it at all. If I don't know, then we can't offer it. We can't grow in that. And then the final statement is a statement, not a question, that we ask every single week, and that is, here's what I'm seeing. Here's what I'm seeing. So I'll meet with Jessie and say, hey, Jessie, here's what I'm seeing, both in you, both in the business, both in the things around us. Here's what I'm seeing. And then I'll sit with Thomas and say the same thing. Hey, Thomas, here's what I'm seeing in you, or here's what I'm seeing in the business. Now, most weeks, our conversations are pretty normal. Base hits, sometimes bunts, walks on base. But then there's a week where a real pearl of insight begins to surface. And those are the weeks we start to see healthy growth of life, while also becoming aware that we're getting closer to a trimming of task, which ironically leads to an increase in responsibility and leadership. So that trimming creates growth. When we don't take the time for these conversations, hiring can cost us thousands in lost productivity, in time, in money, in engagement, in awareness. See, this idea of delegation is not just a cool idea. Delegation is absolutely the necessary step of personal and professional growth, both for the delegator and for the delegatee. So we need to make sure that you're making time for these important conversations and to trim the shrubs. We've got to constantly be trimming the shrubs to make sure you've got everything that you need. And the good news is, if you go right now to mybusinessonpurpose.com/free, that link right there, if you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, or if you're listening on the podcast, just go to mybusinessonpurpose.com/free, and you will have 28-day, completely free, 28-day access to our entire Business on Purpose roadmap coaching experience. Now, our goal is that you'll stay long-term. That's why we want to open it up free. So you have time to get in there, to hop on the coaching calls. That's right. Those coaching calls are available even to you as a free member for 28 days. You can really dig in there and see what we've got in there, and also a 28-day jumpstart guide that'll get you started. So we have paved the runway for you to be a better delegator, to be a better visioneer, to be a better leader in your business, and to build a business that truly is on purpose. So let's get better at hiring, let's get better at delegating, and let's get better at trimming the shrub of our life and of our roles so that we can create more growth for other people, so that we can be free from that business chaos and live out a business that truly is on purpose. Go check it out, mybusinessonpurpose.com/free, and have a great week, everybody.